Masters of the Universe enthusiasts get together and talk about their favorite toy line, He-Man.
Well,
Old ones now.
You were drinking about a half a fifth of Jack before I came in here.
It's brilliant.
Yes. Do you have some toy drama for us?
Oh, and you're talking normal. Like, literally you talk...
Next page.
Help! Help!
You keep going, this Battle Cat.
Oh.
He-Man, that boy is about to be eaten by another plant.
Not if I can help it. Give him up, foul swamp creature.
Hey, thanks, He-Man, but I really wasn't afraid.
I am the boy's grandfather, Consul Airy. And this is Leon. You should be more thankful, wretched child.
He's a brave one.
I'm gonna listen. You're gonna listen? Okay. He's gonna watch us be fools.
Hi, Daddy. We love you.
What are you doing?
I didn't mean to hit this button.
My wife sent me a voicemail. I didn't mean it to play.
I was like, wow, you changed your voice really well. Question mark. And was the 80s figure of him a foreign knockoff? Knockoff, no. Foreign, yes.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Here we go.
So,
We're about to get schooled.
So we're going to have to use your...
Brock, will you correct him when he's wrong?
Absolutely.
Which
Okay.
is probably going to be every other thing I say.
My knee-jerk reaction was, and I have not really gotten plugged in to find out, that some people were going to be, like, upset.
Justice Curry here. With me are some incredibly special guests. I'm, coincidentally, a special guest on a podcast called My Wife is Good... I'm kidding. It's not My Wife is Gonna Kill Me. This is Defenders of Grayskull. No, it's not Defenders. It's, Podcasters of the Universe. Serious fun serial content.
We're the podcasters of the universe, of course.
We are the podcasters of the universe.
Featuring the main host.
The main sexiest host.
Yes, Jeremy, no middle name, DeWitt. How are you, sir?
I'm clean and I'm
Yes.
full and I'm ready to podcast.
Yes. On the opposite side of the table is someone that you may recognize from other YouTube extravaganzas, also the host from My Wife is Gonna Kill Me podcast, and then his most favorite podcast. Tell me about... This is Stephen
You think this is my most favorite podcast?
Absolutely.
Really?
It's not?
Huh?
It's not?
What? They're kind of like my children.
Okay.
They both came from me.
Yes. Well, let's for the folks at home that don't know what a podcast is, because when you started, My Wife's Gonna Kill Me several years ago, you're like, be a special guest, and you're bugging me nonstop, and then finally we worked out a deal you got with my agent and paid me a bunch of perks and whatnot and got me green M&Ms. But I didn't know what a podcast was. I heard Kevin Smith from Comic Book Man, Jane Silent Bob's Secret Stash. He had one. That was about the extent I knew. And it was like, what, a radio show that's on the interweb? Like, what is a podcast?
A podcast is basically, most of the time, a radio show that is about anything you want it to be about. And the cool thing about that is you can find almost any topic you're into in the podcast directories. So those of us who like toys or like certain things like He-Man or G.I. Joe or whatever you're into, wearing cat furs. I'm sure there's a podcast out there.
There's furries?
podcast
Oh, I
somewhere.
guarantee it. And I wouldn't know anything about the furry
Right.
podcast. Brock, tell us about your podcast, The Furries. And sorry, to get over to my friend Brock. Brock's been on many of the other YouTube videos. We opened up some carded supernaturals. I'll put a link right here. Boop. And I got a lot of hate mail, death threats. But Brock is like the resident variant expert, I would say, when it comes to He-Man variants. I mean, you are an expert. Don't be humble. Or not humble. Don't be shy. You are an expert. I am blessing you with an expert status. But Brock,
You've been christened.
yeah.
It's kind of like being married by a priest out of the paper, the newspaper. But
a YouTube priest. But Brock made the 8-hour flight with me to this undisclosed location in northern Alabama for these guys, the Wrecking Ball. So give me a little history. Tell me about your podcast. What, in a nutshell, what is it?
Our podcast is about...
No, you know what? You talk too much. What's your podcast? In a nutshell.
We like to talk about dogs and
Dogs.
babies.
And time. What's the podcast
The
about?
podcast is about He-Man.
He-Man.
We love He-Man. We love Masters of the Universe. We love Shira. We love every incarnation of He-Man except New Adventures is kind of the redheaded stepchild. But
We found some positive things, though.
well, there are positive.
So you don't discriminate. So you're not going to shame someone that
No.
likes them. Unless it's me that likes them, then you would shame me.
If it was you, yes. Anyone else, no.
Right.
The thing about our podcast is we try to stay positive. We try to have fun. It's kid friendly. If it's if you don't like swearing, we're the podcast for you.
Yep.
We try to stay pretty clean and pretty light and pretty positive.
Awesome.
And
Our
so much
only
in the-
thing is, I was going to say, don't come to us for knowledge. We don't have knowledge, we just have the heart.
So what year were these party hats made? And what country were they produced? And how many were there made? Was it 52,000 or 17,000?
we're not those guys.
You're not
because
those guys.
I don't love Masters of the Universe for that. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I didn't care if it was made in Taiwan or made in Mexico or made in Malaysia. I didn't care.
Yes.
That's what this is what we fell in love with. So me and Jeremy try to be creative, we try to be positive, and we try to be just uplifting. Enjoy your fandom of Masters of the Universe while you're listening to the Podcasters of the Universe.
How do people find Podcasters of the Universe?
Well,
Can they type it in
internet.
Facebook? So
yeah,
Google.
Well, our podcast is on Podomatic. It's
Yes.
on iTunes. It's on Stitcher. We have 2 Facebook thingies. One's a page and one's a group, because sometimes people don't see pages. So
Yep.
you got to go to the group.
Of course.
We have Twitter. We have Instagram. And we have local people come out and hang out with us as well. Not today, though.
And
We had to
that's
travel 8 hours.
pretty much any kind of podcast catcher, which I wasn't familiar with what those are till not that long ago. They're just like apps you download. There's all different ones, and they pull from iTunes and they pull from all these different places. So a lot of those you'll be able to find us on if you don't want to go to the main one. But
gotcha.
any of those outlets you'll be able to listen.
Is
to.
it free?
Yeah, to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not free to podcast, but
Right, you have to
not too
cover my
expensive either.
expenses.
Right,
You have to
right.
cover, Brock's eating habit because he's a big time eater. So Brock, why do you? These guys have been dominating the conversation. Not me though. I rarely talk, but Brock is a man of few words, but great knowledge base. What draws you to Masters of the Universe?
I think the same thing that draws us all to it, just our childhood. I mean, the nostalgic factor when we experience this stuff, it just brings back memories. And
Oh, absolutely. And we're all chasing that nostalgia dragon, mainlining it. We're addicted to it. But I think Jeremy might have said it. Maybe you said it, but it sounds like Jeremy would have said this because he's cool. He said,
I'll take it.
It's a chance to get together. And this is memories. Us shooting the breeze, eating that thick crust pizza that I so love, that Steven specialty made for me, and having fun. It's an excuse to, you had to get permission to come over. I had to get permission to come over. We had signed releases to even enter your cave and man room, and get security clearances. But it's an excuse. It's memories. We're having fun. Sure. We're creating memories and recording a few of these memories so you at home can enjoy it as well. And please check it out on Facebook, Stitcher, Podcast. And if you've never tried a podcast before, it's something to do. Instead of listening to the same old boring music on the radio, plug it in your phone. And all phones are Bluetooth enabled. Or if you have an old car, you can just... This is how I listen to it. Seriously, when I listen to a podcast, I put it on my phone and I'm driving with it up to my ear. I'm just driving like this. And I listen to the podcast going through my phone.
Quick tip, I just found out, especially if you're listening on the iTunes app, listen to it in half speed and we always sound drunk.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's a new one. I'm going to have to go through.
Jeremy, what do you got to say?
I'm the best looking man on this side of the room.
Justin? Say some bullshit.
Hello, Justice Curry here with his YouTube camera. Gonna invade your space, and your personal space, but you don't care.
I don't care. Invade it all you want.
You're right. Let's see how pissed I can get Steven at me during this podcast. I'm gonna try to derail it.
All right, everybody. I am blah 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 blah. Jeremy, what you guys?
We are
say?
testing it right
Best
now.
looking man on this side of the room.
Deja vu?
Say some bullshit.
Hello.
This is a nice little camera in the middle.
Gonna invade your space.
So it's not as crisp, but it's still is very audible.
Works for me.
We passed phase 1 in this.
You gotta like soundproof the room next so there's no echo.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just put a blanket over all our heads.
Tin foil.
Podcast fort.
You like this new tripod I have set up?
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
This cost me a lot of money for this awesome
You set it on the back.
tripod, yeah. I'm so weak.
So we'll do our little intro and we won't let them know that we have guests, and then we'll let them know we have guests. Blah, 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 blah. It's a nice pen. I don't even know if it's nice. It just looks neat.
It's red. It's a red pen.
It's like it's leaky. Just like... Completely discharged. He's the only one that gets to be the good.
How am I doing at keeping time? Probably horrible.
I felt it.
So you shortened up the intro?
Not this time.
So we're going to have the intro that's like 3 minutes long. And then what are we going to talk about? I didn't do any studying or anything.
Just
I
we'll
didn't read the
point,
notes.
man.
We'll
do our.
So this is not your show. This is our
I
show.
might take it over
We
and
will
piss
lead you
off.
through it.
Do I have to be
You
quiet?
have to sit in the passenger seat.
It is
right?
so hard. I'm so used to driving.
You'll be able
But you're on my YouTube channel, so which one trumps the other?
You're in my house. Turn that shit off.
So I've taken, Steven has a 10 level, so he'll get so mad.
Podcasters of the Universe,
Come up
episode
to one.
23.
23 is for me.
Sorry.
That was awesome.
That was terrible.
All right, everybody, we are back again. Episode 23 of the Podcasters of the Universe. Jeremy, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was like we took like an extra week because Podomatic was down and was not fun. I sat at home and cried like all week. It was bad.
It was bad. I don't know if anybody ran into that problem, but I tell you what, at first you couldn't do anything. You couldn't stream it. You couldn't download it. You couldn't do anything. And then after a while, it was letting people download it. And then all of a sudden, I got this. Did you get that email from Podomatic saying, "Boom, 50 episodes were just downloaded for"?
No.
I think that was for My Wife's Gonna Kill Me.
Oh,
But
no.
I was like, "What?"
No.
And then I checked it, and everything was working.
Oh.
So
Yeah, well, that's good because it was very sad. And actually, it kind of worked out, though, because we got some good news topics for this week, which
We do.
happened Monday and stuff, so we can get into that.
we've got a lot to talk about, and we've got guests.
Yeah, well, people can't tell. We have an omnidirectional mic going on, so it might be a little bit of a different sound, but it's because we have guests today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we didn't want to deal with the guests are just a pain in the butt, especially when it's the guest we have today. Some of you might know him from his YouTube channel, which is honestly mediocre at best. But he keeps trying, and you know what? You gotta hand it to a guy who just won't quit. And that's what I tell him. He calls me all the time. He's like, Steve, this isn't working out. Nobody likes me. And I'm just... and I say, hey, just keep going. Do another video. Even if it's ridiculous, do it. So anyways...
These hats.
We are wearing He-Man party hats. Yeah. Just so you know. But anyways, let's welcome Justice Curry to the show.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Is that your fan?
No, I got like 5 of them in the back. They're invisible friends. My therapist says I need them. They're my comfort blanket. So
I'll just explain to you who Justin is.
No, how about I explain who I am?
No, this isn't your show. Justin is going to try to take over.
What?
How dare you? He's going to try to come on.
Is that my
here,
MO?
And yes, it is his MO to come on and just try to
But
dominate.
Steven, you
and
get
I'm not gonna
90% of the
let it
speech. I want at least to get like 5%.
You need to learn to be a good
2%.
guest and be led through.
No. I am being
show.
led. You said who
You're
I
not even
am.
letting me talk. You're turning the show into The View. We're talking over each other.
Is this on yet? Are we recording?
Of course we're recording.
What? I thought this was the practice run.
There is no practice run.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Now, I'm trying to get Steven up to the boiling point. Now, I think he has a level about 10 when he just loses it. I've already got him to about 2 right now. I can see it in his face, his demeanor. So we're going to keep chipping it away. I'll just say random numbers as it raises throughout this podcast. But yes, explain who I am.
Justice is a collector. He is a collector of He-Man and other things. But, collecting of He-Man's a big part of his life. He's an addict. He's addicted to collecting, and now he is addicted to attention. So he has started, like I was describing, a YouTube channel. Would you call yourself, Justin, a YouTuber?
I've never used that term before, so I don't classify.
Do you think others would call you a YouTuber?
I've been called many things throughout my life. But you know what? I want to document my journey through the friends, the toys, the excitement. So I'm not doing it where normal YouTubers do it for profit. I mean, they do it for the love of toys or love of whatever they're talking about, but they'll put ads in it. And what kind of drew me apart in the beginning was, I'm not going to put ads. I'm not doing this for monetary gain. I want, someday my grandkids, my great grandkids, and go, hey, look how weird great grandpa Justice was collecting these toys and hanging out with so and so and doing podcasts. And they'll get a laugh. They'll see me young and when pre-dementia, and having fun. And every day people are messaging me saying, "Oh, you've inspired me to get back into collecting. What do I do?" And it's just, that's who I am. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a savant. I don't know. That was the first word that came to my head.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the YouTube thing, actually, you've only been doing that for maybe a year? Is it a little?
Yeah, probably March of 2017. So it's late June of 2018. So yeah.
But before that, what led you, before the YouTube thing, and ever since I've known you, you have been a Masters of the Universe Classics collector, and you have been a collector with a driven sense of urgency to suck all the Masters of the Universe stuff that is rare or interesting or maybe foreign. Sought after. Very good, Brock. Also sitting in here, good friend of Justin's. We didn't introduce him.
Yeah,
how about you? Going to talk, but just throw
how about you introduce him before you keep using all these keywords about me?
I'm the quiet man in the room.
He's the quiet man in the room.
He's got a nice voice, though.
He does. He's got a nice radio voice.
But he's smarter than all of us.
You want. Brock is also a Masters of the Universe crazy collector.
Yeah.
So we might be turning to you for some knowledge at some point. Right. But no, you like I said, you're driven like crazy. More than anyone I've ever met in this hobby, you collect like you have to stop collecting tomorrow. Why? What? Tell us about that.
You know what? It all started in just kind of my origin story. So you got about a half hour where I can tell this whole story?
You've got 12 seconds.
We got 12 seconds to tell the story. All right. So I am an addict, like you mentioned. I'm addicted to plastic crack. I love mainlining that nostalgia, the feeling, the environment, the connection to a simpler time. Well, before my collecting career began, I was a real life addict. I was struggling with alcoholism and just had a lot of those problems. It was destroying my body, my mind, my family life. And I was a good alcoholic. Like, I drank to pedal to the metal, and that's how I had fun. So, once alcohol was finally rid of that horrible demon, I kind of had this weird void in my life. A lot of my old friends disappeared, and I bought a 1986 Viper, a G.I. Joe Viper, an army builder, and something just clicked inside of me, and I went, oh yeah, let's just, and I just dove into this. It became this new, healthier addiction. I met you guys. I met all these other positive people, and it was just pedal to the metal, collecting. Then I had this OCD completist, so it wasn't just collect what I like. It was, okay, I like G.I. Joe. I want a lot of G.I. Joes, but I have to have all of them, or vintage Heman. I got to have all of them. And then you're like, well, you went into rare and foreigns and stuff. Well, once you get all of them, what do? Do you go, I'm done. Yay, I'm done. I'm done. No, you got to go to the next thing. And the next thing is those crazy, weird, unicorn hunts where you're looking for that Black Blood mosquito or the Topps Toys, Camel Cobra Khan, those things that there's very low productions. Collectors might want them. They're hard to find. You don't go on eBay and find them. So those kind of became my focus, and my energy poured into them. And then, I just wanted to divide my energy up, and then YouTube kind of came along.
Here's a question I've often wondered. Does this drive that you have, does it give you stress?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because you get all the normal feelings of jealousy and betrayal. It's like a freaking soap opera. I'm telling you what, I'll go on Facebook and someone will post something and I'll message them and they'll go, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you. And then next thing I know, they're like, oh, Stephen Bisciotti just offered $5 more than you. Sorry, I'm selling it to him. And I'm ready to drive over here and murder someone. And I'm like, and so there's stress because I'm like, now I gotta look for 8 more months to find that item. But the benefits far outweigh the stress. The stress, I learned how to deal with it and go, what am I worried about? I'll find it again. Or even now, some of these major hunt things that I've obtained to put in my collection just sits there for a few months, and then I have someone else come over to my house and they're like, oh my god, I've had that when I was a kid, I want that so much. And then I go, you know what, take it, it's yours. Of course I'm going to sell it to him for double the price, like I did for Steven, but no, I'm kidding, triple the price actually for Steven. But anyway, those are the kind of things where I'm at. I have to sell to finance my hobby. But I like surrounding myself like a hoarder, 360 degrees worth of stuff.
And that's like the biggest thing though. Like you're not taking like personal money. You're taking toy money and buying all that type of stuff.
Yep, I learned that from the get-go. I said I'm gonna buy large lots, and I love the thrill of the hunt. It's almost the best part when you go on Facebook or garage sailing or thrift stores, or a collector goes, hey, I got a bunch of stuff, or hey, my son left all his toys and they're in my attic.
Feeling in your...
Because you don't know what's going to be in there. It could be, a bunch of mail-away Gold-Head Steel Brigades from G.I. Joes that are worth several $100s, or, mint on card He-Man or something like that. Or it could be a bunch of stuff I don't care about, like My Little Ponies. But that thrill of the hunt is what drives you. So if I do stumble across, Steven's mom that's selling his My Little Ponies, I don't care about My Little Ponies.
I told her she can't.
Yeah, but
those are mine.
But I'm gonna buy them, say for $75, and turn them into $250, just hypothetically. So I take that profit and then reinvest it and keep doing that over and over again. So I have a nice nest egg, and then I can purchase some of these, more expensive figures, and you do that over and over and over again. And that's how my collection has grown. Where I've seen some pitfalls in other collectors where they start taken out of their, seriously, 401ks, real money investing, and things can, marriages, relationships fall
that's
apart.
when it becomes a problem.
Yes, and it's isolated, it's rare that happens, but it does. So I'm like, that's not going to be me. I'm gonna be the flip-o-matic and just keep hustling.
So that leads me to the Masters of the Universe connection. I know you're a big G.I. Joe guy. You just said that you're basically your window back in or into this collecting world was G.I. Joe, a Viper from G.I. Joe.
Correct.
And I would say the 3 biggest things I would say is that you collect Muscle Men,
Yep.
G.I. Joe,
Yep.
Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yeah, they're my children. And then there's some other things sprinkled among them, like Battle Beast and Supernaturals and Ghostbusters and some other knockoffs now. But you named my 3 eldest children.
So what is the Masters of the Universe connection?
That's probably one of the strongest connections that I have, quite honestly, because when I was a kid, my grandmother would visit from out of town, and she would bring me a new Masters of the Universe mint on card every time she came to visit. So that was
Is that
like
what you said? Grandma, you brought me a mint on card.
Oh yes, MOCs, MOC. No, but I was super excited. Like, Grandma, move it. Give me a hug. No, Grandma, where's my mint on card? No, I'm kidding.
Don't bend it.
I would, don't bend it. I'm keeping it
punch?
pristine. But I would seriously rip those open and play with them, and I loved it. And something weird about me, among others, I could do a whole podcast about what's weird about me. But one thing specifically is, I never watched the cartoon. I never watched the He-Man cartoon, so I had no knowledge base of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and I kind of just made up my own little world, and I ended up getting like 2 totes filled with He-Man figures. Those were basically one of the only things other than Muscle Men that survived my childhood. Like, I took care of them. I didn't blow them up with firecrackers. I didn't shoot them with my BB guns. All my other toys were target practice and explosive testing stuff. But He-Man, I loved him. And my grandmother, that connection with her, God rest her soul. When I would have sleepovers or sleep at night, I would put like a little protection. I thought they would wake up, or I thought they would guard me at night. And I had like 360 degrees. They had weapons. And I thought they would come alive at night. And I still do think that. Sometimes I set up video cameras to capture it. And I'm very close to figuring out the truth. But I think Steven comes over and edits it. But that's never mind. What am I talking about?
Do you still have? So you still?
Can you
have,
edit this out?
You still have the totes?
Yes.
We don't edit our shows. No.
Either do I.
That's why I only have one viewer on the YouTube channel. They're like, edit that S-H-I-T. Yeah, I kept all my totes.
So when we walk into your collection room, which is extensive, and we see Masters of the Universe figures set up and whatnot, are some of them your child?
Oh, most of them all. So when people go, that one's about beat up, it's because I never upgraded them. And I remember which ones I had from my childhood, and I purposely didn't, get a better condition or more pristine one. And there was many I didn't know existed. I didn't know the Horde Troopers existed. I never had Castle Grayskull growing up or Snake Mountain. I had the Fright Zone.
Fright Zone?
And,
Fright Zone's awesome. Though.
Yeah, and the Slime Pit. So I loved the Horde play sets, and Hordak was my favorite character. I never even had an original He-Man or Skeletor. I had the Whirlwind and the Dragon Blaster.
Flying Fist.
Yeah, Flying Fist, that's what I meant. Yeah, some expert you are, Justice. But
you won't get judged on our show, man, because Steve and I...
It's called fuzzy knowledge.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't claim to know anything.
So digging deeper, this is bringing a lot of stuff up.
Uh-oh.
You didn't watch the cartoon at all.
Not at all.
Did you read the comics, the mini comics?
Well, I didn't
you
learn
remember?
how to read until 11th grade. So I read I looked at the pictures and created the storyline in my head, but I don't think I was reading by the time I was looking at those little mini comics.
Okay. So basically your whole He-Man, your childhood pretending with Masters of the Universe was just you coming up with whatever you came up with.
And I didn't bring them outside. I kept them inside. Like I told you, I would make that perimeter around my sleeping area, or if people spent the night, they would bring over their masters. We had this whole little kind of routine with my cousins and childhood
I want to see
friends.
how bad this is. Who answer this question? Who is Tila's father?
Darth Vader, of course. Silly.
Do you know?
Tila is Man-at-Arms' father.
Tila's Man-at-Arms' father?
Yes, there was a weird genetic thing happened. If you looked at episode 3, subsection 2, no, you know what I mean.
So you do know, you have picked up things over the years.
Because of what's not visible on your podcast, but visible in my YouTube channel. By the way, I'm plugging my YouTube channel, Justice Curry at justicecurry.com. No, there is no .com. But if you type in Justice Curry, C-U-R-Y, in YouTube, you'll find it. And what you'll see on my video is one of the compilations of all the mini comics that Masters of the Universe ever put out. And I got this within the last few years and read it. So
Okay,
that's
so
kind of
you had
where
picked up
some
some
of
of that
my
stuff.
knowledge base, and then watching the vintage cartoons.
You have watched them
in
now?
in recent times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Yeah, that's a rarity among a lot of us collectors and lovers of Masters.
yeah, I know.
Because usually the cartoon was like,
It's a lot of times
Yeah.
it's the window into the world.
or maybe you had a couple figures and then the cartoon came out and then
And there's quite a few people I hear the mini comics were their thing.
yeah.
That kind of told them how to play almost, or at least what side people were on, even though those early mini comics were pretty dark. Even mixed up there, but wow, that was interesting. I've never really talked to you that deeply about.
No, and this is like a free counseling session. This is amazing. I'm getting some deep stuff.
It's
dug up.
judgment free here, man.
Yeah.
Come by anytime.
But I enjoy it, and everyone's got their own connection to it, like you guys mentioned. And it's not that I couldn't. Well, I couldn't watch it because I didn't have cable or TV shows that had Masters of the Universe growing up, just for where I was geographically in Antarctica. But yeah, it's fun, and that's why I like hearing individual people's stories. Like why was it important to you? And Brock will share his story, or you'll share your My Little Pony stories, and I like hearing about that because I don't judge, like Jeremy said.
Awesome.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, are you ready to go on a podcast journey with us?
Yeah. Or we're not. We're already on a podcast.
Yeah, but now we're going to start the actual way we do things.
Yeah.
We're going to actually talk about if you listen to this podcast,
Let's talk some
This is a
Masters.
podcast? I thought we're on a conference call, dude. I seriously
I think that's a
thought.
hard no. That's all right though.
No. I
He'll
have.
get smooth right now.
I have.
okay, I know you have. I was just being stupid. Jeremy, you got anything you want to say before we get it down and dirty into the news and whatnot?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, Justin, for coming, and thank you, Brock, who hasn't said much yet or been able to, but I'm sure we're going to get some good opinions from him as we go along. So,
Who's Justin?
um,
I'm kidding.
so yeah, this is going to be hard, man. I'm going to say Justin, Justice.
It
It's
just
gonna,
happens.
He's pulling up my. Well, here, all right.
My Eternia, they want to eat us. I've never seen anything like these. Hold on, Cringer.
They're right there. You've got Prince Adam in his blue vest. He's on the attack track with Cringer looking very scared, sitting on the side, and they are going through the vine jungle with these huge piranha plants, trying to eat them or attack them at least. Next page.
I have only to reach the sword of power.
Kaboom!
And then, if you haven't figured it out, Adam just turned into He-Man. Did not say by the power of Grayskull.
Nope, he just reached for it and pointed.
Now let's see how you like the feel of cold steel on your stems.
Growl! And feel the fury of my claws.
They're attacking the big plants, chopping into them, slicing them apart. Next page.
Help! Help! You keep going, this Battle Cat.
Oh. He-Man, that boy is about to be eaten by another plant.
Not if I can help it. Give him up, foul swamp creature.
Hey, thanks, He-Man, but I really wasn't afraid.
I am the boy's grandfather, Consul Airy. And this is Leon. You should be more thankful, wretched child.
He's a brave one. What are you two doing out here, Consulary?
I carry a message from the Golden Isles to your King Randor. We have learned that Skeletor plans to invade the palace.
Then, into the attack track. We must race back to the palace and warn them before it's too late.
I've always wanted to be a palace guard, especially with Tila. She's famous.
I see no harm in that. Does Tila approve?
This is King Randor. palace. They brought the boy and his grandfather there. They're talking with Tila. King Randor and Queen Marlena are there.
You want to be Tila? Read this. We got Tila here. Talk.
You would have to start as an apprentice.
He looks very happy about learning that.
And plan to work hard. Being a guard requires more than just muscle. You also need brains. Like me.
Right.
He doesn't say.
He doesn't say like that.
It says, meanwhile, Skeletor calls the Lords of Destruction together for the great assault. Now, wait a second. Now, wasn't he just called the Lord of Destruction? Now it's like if we had a show and it was about the bad guys, would it be Skeletor and the Lords of Destruction?
Ooh, it would be.
That's good. I think that's supposed to be Snake Mountain.
That doesn't look
weird
very
And it's
rock.
literally just a big
Mountain.
rock.
A red mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a note at the bottom. There you go. Skeletor's base is referred to as Snake Mountain by Evil Lynn, but it looks like a plain mountainside instead of the toy. There you go. Oh, okay, next page. We are inside Snake Mountain.
My vine monsters didn't stop that meddling old man and child. No matter, we shall still make short work of the palace and everyone in it.
Wait until Tila gets a taste of my venom.
There's Cobra Khan for you.
I don't know what he sounds like. I never saw him in the cartoon.
I love it. You just took it. You just
Yeah, you just jumped in.
He's
I like
loving this. Look at him. He's having more fun than he's ever had in his life.
Probably. It's pretty close. Oh my gosh.
And I have a very special surprise that He-Man shall certainly fall for. I messed up those words, but it's okay. You know what I meant.
Oh gosh.
Some evil in
Oh,
there.
this is
Yeah,
gonna
sorry.
get so much better. This is
Great.
gonna get
Okay.
so crazy.
Next page, they are clearly... Oh, they're attacking the palace, which looks very much like
A weird.
like a part of Castle Grayskull
It
almost.
does.
So they're charging it. We have Trapjaw, Triclops, Beastman, Evelyn, Cobra Khan, and Skeletor, who says,
Attack! Destroy the palace and all within.
Crush all in the way.
Trapjaw. Guess we gotta say it.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's
Trapjaw, of course.
First, you'll have to deal with me.
Guards, to battle!
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
On point.
That's good.
Silly wench! She thinks she can fool with me? The evil sorceress of Snake Mountain?
And she blasts Tila back.
Ooh, Tila's taking it.
Hit her pretty hard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Leon, come back!
I'm a palace guard too. I must go.
Look what I have here, a prisoner.
Let me go. Let me go. He-Man will get you for this.
Hold. Cease battle.
That's sensible, He-Man.
Oh my god.
wait, he can just stop the fight by saying
You just say cease battle.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, why? What's up?
Skeletor follows the rules.
Hey, that's cool. Now, we talk before the boy becomes food for my plants.
Oh,
Step forward, He-Man.
Let the boy go. Ah!
no.
He-Man's.
He-Man's got no harness on there.
No, he doesn't. And he's falling in some kind of vortex trap door in the ground.
Yep. It looks like Evelyn opened up a floor right there.
Yeah,
and
she
made
did.
a
She,
hole. And
made
he
a-
just... His harness disappeared and he's fallen through with his colors of his shield backwards.
But looks when he lands, he has it back on.
Oh, and then right here...
And here's the boy for company.
That's a great picture of Skeletor just throwing the boy
just
in the
throwing a
hole.
kid down.
Both hands up in the air.
You are trapped forever, sealed by blue crystal magic.
And we do see a shot of the boy falling into He-Man's arms, so He-Man catches the kid.
He's safe, but
Yes.
only to a certain point.
Yes.
With He-Man out of the way, Skeletor calls up the Vine Monsters to finish the battle.
Go, my pretty plants! Show them the power of your evil nature!
We got Man-at-Arms here stepping in. The light from my laser and photon guns only seem to make them grow.
And I just bounce off.
You do that so well.
That was Ram Man, everybody.
Only He-Man was the strength to chop them down to size.
Nice. Yeah. So they know these things are huge. And you look, I love the picture of Ram Man literally bouncing right off of them.
They're about 100 feet tall.
Yeah, these things are huge, and they just have palace guards all over them trying to cut them down, and Man-at-Arms in his white mustache, and yeah, Teela in her pink outfit. But she does look more like the cartoon now.
She does. In fact, turn the page and you'll see that Randor and Marlena are really looking like the cartoon.
Oh, they are.
Colors
They're no longer white anymore.
No.
The vines have us completely surrounded.
I don't know who's saying the next line. Do you guys?
I'll just say it. Fall back! Fall back!
We can't give up now. Not now.
I'm scared, He-Man. Really scared.
There's nothing wrong with being frightened. But there is something I can do. Shield your eyes.
And He-Man takes a page right out of the book of Ram Man and just points himself straight up.
Yeah.
Good sound effects.
Yes, that was the sound effect. That was the zap effect of He-Man's sword nailing the top of this magical barrier. And He-Man says,
"Oh, this magic is too powerful for me to break alone." Oh. Is it the boy or he?
No, it's him.
Ram Man! I'll ram through the magic seal.
And He-Man's
Okay.
There it is. They're doing it together then.
So, yep, Ram Man's hitting it from one side, He-Man's hitting it from the inside.
And there's a huge kaboom!
Sure enough, opens right up.
Wow! Together, you broke the magic seal,
says the boy.
And out we go. Thank you, Ram Man. Now, I'll mow you to shreds, and you creeping demons.
It's He-Man.
Back where you came from.
Now this is cool, man. He-Man just runs through 5 of these huge creatures and just slices them all right down at their roots.
Cutting them off at the ankles.
Yep.
Their rooty ankles.
Oh my gosh.
Skeletor, we've lost. We must flee.
Cowards, all of you! But I shall return, He-Man. I shall return.
Well, Leon.
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Well, Leon, do you still want to be a palace guard?
Yeah!
Is there something special you discovered?
Oh no.
Sure! Everyone, even He-Man, needs help from his friends. Sometimes.
You were brave, my young friend. We would still like to have you as a palace guard, if it's all right with Consul Airy. We would be honored.
The end. Woo! There's one thing I do want to point out before we're completely done.
Okay.
Right up there, when Skeletor's running away because Trapjaw told him they have lost,
Yes.
He-Man's sword is dripping blood.
Oh my gosh. It is. Like
blood.
Like plant blood.
Yeah. Living plant blood.
Wow.
That's brutal.
Yeah. That was wonderful.
What was your favorite part from the whole story?
The boy.
The
little
boy.
The little boy.
That boy needs to make every single comic, I think.
I like it.
I mean, especially if he's a palace guard now. Obviously,
Heck yeah.
King Randor's giving it to him, so...
You know what? He might grow up to be Jitsu and turn evil. Because he's Asian. Jitsu.
Oh, you think there can only be one?
Well, there's
I see
only
how you
one in the
think.
story. Is there any other Asian?
Ninja's nothing, I guess.
We never see his head's covered. He could be.
They're pretty much the same guy. Available on super7.com right now. The vintage inspired cards have also had brand new art on the back, drawn by who? Errol McCarthy.
It's awesome.
Yes, so sweet. And they're $20 each, or $80 for all four. And I got mine. Well, I pre-ordered mine, and I pre-ordered some for you too, Mister.
Yes, I am excited about these. Justin, now I know you're a vintage guy, but you aware what we're talking about?
You're talking about the reaction stuff?
No, not yet.
Talking about.
Sorry.
No, they're in the 5.5 of the vintage style, but they're based on the cartoons.
Oh yes, I did see that.
Does that spark your interest at all?
Yes and no. Is that the one where they're bringing out Eldor?
Yes.
Yes, I saw those. Not too much. Like I never went full blast into the Matty stuff or the classics. I mean, so like I'll get if I really love the figure, like Spikor is one of my favorites, or Mantana. If they did something like that, yeah, I'd grab it. But that be a completist is a curse. So if I bought one, I have to have all of them. Or if I'm like Brock, you have to buy 2 of each.
I do buy 2 of them.
Seriously, he's not lying.
Sometimes 3.
So you've already done your pre-order then?
I have.
And how many sets did you get?
About 2.
Is it because one to open?
One
and
to yeah.
I'm really
got a
torn on
sickness.
this. I don't know if I'm going to open mine or if I'm going to leave them.
Yeah.
I'm going to open them, but I may jump on. We'll see. I got to talk to Travis. I may jump on his order and get another set for card to keep carded, because I love them on the card. They look. I'm sure the dimensions and everything
Same.
they're going to be the same as a vintage card, and they look great. And it's got the art by the guy that worked on the vintage cards.
Yeah.
How do you say no to that, Justin?
It's very easy. N-O, no. And here's the other reason. I don't have room. If you've seen some of my my YouTube videos for people that are listening or watching, or have you seen pictures, it's 360 degrees. I'm going to the ceiling now. I don't have room. And I don't have, bucket loads of money like you guys that can just indiscriminately buy
Get rid of
tons
some
of
that
stuff.
Nintendo stuff.
I did. I almost liquidated my Nintendo collection for room purposes. But I'm still I have to get rid of things in order to bring new things in, and I cannot fathom buying it, putting it in a tote, and not seeing it. Like if I'm buying it, spending money on it, it needs to be on display.
Well, so far there's only 4 of them.
Yeah. That's how they get the hook into you. It's like the first one's free kind of deal.
Well,
where
they
you
got
get
the hook into me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are they're hard not to pass up.
Isn't there like an explosion on them, a yellow explosion that says "as seen on TV"?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that all about? Why would
Just because of the filmation style as in on TV.
Oh, okay.
It's like if in the 80s they were to give you a figure that looked like it did in the cartoon, this is what it would have looked like.
That's interesting. It's a little too cerebral for my brain, so I didn't comprehend it. Thank you, gentlemen.
If you haven't figured it out, Justin has severe ADD, and he's all like, change the subject.
What are you talking about? We've been talking about the same thing for 35 minutes.
You just have to, and your YouTube channel, and you throw this in there. And
Hey, it's called plugging. Like if you watch Jay Leno or David Letterman, their special guests always talk about the movie that they're on or the new music album. I'm going to talk about my thing.
I think we knew what we were getting into.
All right, hey, remember what I talked about earlier? We're at 3 now. We're almost to 10. We'll get to 10 by the end.
I was like, what?
Yeah, we're going to bring it back around, see?
All right, so we're all excited. The 3 huge Motu fans at this table.
Sorry, Brock.
The real fans.
Sorry, Brock, you're not included with us.
All right, so they also released Wave 4 of their Masters Reaction figures. Mechaneck, Faker, Orko, Ram Man, Evelyn, and my favorite, Scareglow. Well, my favorite of those particular ones. All of them come with accessories or on blister cards, and the artwork is by Jason Edmiston. I believe it's how you say it, and if I said it wrong, well, I'm sure he won't listen to this anyway, and so he won't be too mad.
I know.
But if he is, he can find me and tell me how to say it right. They're available. They're $15 each or $90 for all 6 together. Once again, you can also get it on super7.com.
I love how they say 90 together. They don't offer a discount at all for buying
Right.
them all. It's like 85 if you buy them all. Okay, that would make sense to say that.
And actually, to go back to those 4 Filmation ones,
Yep.
you could get them cheaper on Big Bad Toy Store.
No
You
way.
buy all 4 for $76, and they only charge $4 shipping.
Oh my.
So it's 80 shipped.
Did you?
Oh, wow.
This is a
So
secret
they're
knowledge.
losing money on that.
Yeah.
Holy. Because
I pre-ordered mine because I buy a lot on BBTS, and I was like, son of a gun.
Wow.
I wonder if you'll get them later.
You could probably. I mean, it was like
You must.
$12 difference.
Right.
Not a big deal, but you know,
$12.
Interesting.
$12.
Yeah.
Very
I
interesting.
go to the gas station and buy $12 worth of beef jerky every time I go. So I don't mind.
That's what I was smelling when you walked in the door.
But no, those reaction figures, I have yet to take the plunge, and heck, the artwork alone almost gets me to buy them.
The artwork is what really I really enjoy.
We're talking about the reaction
Yeah.
ones.
Yes.
3 3/4.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 3/4.
But I never did get sucked into that line. I guess it's just, they're cool. I see why people would. I am very excited about them for reasons I can't discuss yet, but you'll find out in the future.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. Mystery Man.
Oh, dun dun.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like secrets, dude. You need to tell me.
I think out of these, I think they're cool for what they are. They're not my thing, but I kind of almost have to have Scareglow. So
Scareglow's cool.
I might just get him and call it good. I know.
No, that's not
I
gonna
can
happen.
see the anxiety in Justin over
Oh.
here. No.
And they got me. No, go ahead, bro.
It'll be interesting on how they do like the more unique sculpted figures, like the Snake Man and the Horde. I mean, they don't use shared parts, so
Right. Save on money. You're right.
It'd be interesting how they do
Reuse
those.
hands, arms.
Roboto.
Like Twistoid and Rotar.
No, they won't do them. No way. No way.
I mean, they did Orko, and they gave him. He has like little legs.
Yeah, it was funny.
So
Yeah.
How they got him? Thank you for bringing this up, Stephen. I'm kidding. How I got hooked into them is they're way too expensive, and I'm a cheap ass. Oops. Can I
You're
swear?
good.
Can I say the A word? I normally
You already
don't
did,
swear.
so-
I already did. Can you edit that out, please?
Steve said the SH word last episode, and we let it go. So,
Really?
or maybe it
Okay.
was 2 episodes ago.
What's worth?
It's
S
a
word or
people
the
just
A
we
word?
just
a
try
fine.
not to. We just try not to.
It probably would have been better if I didn't
$20 in
focus
the
on
jar.
it, right? So if I didn't focus on it this
Get to the
whole
point.
time. We're at 4, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so they're $15 a piece. $15 a piece for that. They look like Star Wars figures. They don't have a lot of articulation. Granted, the artwork okay, but I like the scale of them because I'm a G.I. Joe guy as well. So maybe intermingling them, but G.I. Joe look drastically different. It's just the height similarity. So I said, nope, I'm not getting these. No way, $15. Then on Facebook, someone's like, hey, I'm clearing out my collection. I have all of Wave 1, $7 a piece. I'm like,
That'll do it.
gosh, all right, I'll buy them. Boom, I buy them. Then Wave 2 goes out. And now I have all Wave 1. Wave 2 goes out. What am I supposed to do? No, I'm done. I had to freaking spend $15 each and buy Wave 2. Now Wave 3 is out. I haven't gotten them yet. But what do you think I'm going to do?
well, it does help. They only come out with 4 every 4 months.
It's-
if that.
I don't like it. It drives me
To
insane.
me, it's
though.
the last thing I need is another line.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna pick and choose at this point, and
Yeah.
I was on the fence with the 5.5 ones, and I had to though.
The 5.5 would be like finding out that my wife is pregnant. It'd be like, I really don't want this kid. There's no way I can get rid of it. I'm in. And so, here we go.
Courtney, come downstairs real quick. It's going to be an inside joke. Come down because we're podcasting live right now and say, Steven, I got to tell you something. I'm pregnant because it'll lead into what he just mentioned. He goes, the highest stress level. Just tap him on the shoulder and I'll say, oh, Courtney wants to tell you something.
So here we go.
Hold on 1 second,
Oh,
guys.
wait.
Sorry to interrupt. Courtney, Steven's wife, has to say something really quick. She stopped me. She motioned me over there. I talked with her. I said, yep, you need to tell Steven right now because this is important.
I need to tell you something.
Oh, jeez.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 6. We are at 6 right now.
I'm moving to Canada.
This is the greatest thing ever. Thank you, Courtney.
No, it's
Okay.
not true, Claire.
So, yeah, right? His daughters are like, what? These adults are weird.
Oh my gosh. This is the greatest time of my life, by the way.
All right, now here's where I'm starting to get a little anxiety because now they have some San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Exclusives, which means if you don't go, you don't get them unless you want to pay like triple the price.
That's
So
what it's supposed to mean.
right, suppose I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that who knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently. All right, here's what Super 7 said. It says, "Beware, Masters of the Universe fans! Hordak is taking over Comic-Con International with another epic Super 7 San Diego Comic-Con Masters of the Universe pop-up event. Beware as the Horde invades San Diego beginning on Comic-Con Wednesday night. Once again, expect all sorts of Masters of the Universe goodies and exclusives from Eternia offered exclusively at Hordak's Lair," which is weird because they maybe should have said Etheria because, Hordak was from there. But anyway, mark your calendars now. The event takes place at the Super 7 San Diego store, which is a quick 10-minute walk from the convention site. Stay tuned for details, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to happen Wednesday, 7/18 from 9 p.m. to midnight, which is weird. It's kind of late. And Thursday, 7/19 from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So here's some of the stuff. Ready? They had a Mo2, I hate saying that, Mo2 Monday reveal. And here are the 3 announcements. Number 1, Shira and the Horde Keshi surprise boxes. Straight out of Etheria, these pint-sized figures will pack a punch and stick it to you because they come with a sticker, get it? Making their debut at Hordak's Lair during Comic-Con International in San Diego on July 18th and 19th. What do you think of these?
Cool, but I'm glad that I don't need them.
Exactly.
I'm hit or miss with these. They look awesome. Luckily, I'm not a completionist, so I just have some of the muscle. And those who don't know, the Keshi Surprise is actually muscle figures.
And it's like a blind bag. That's why it's a surprise. Did I get that right, or is that not true?
Maybe. I honestly have no clue. I really have no clue.
They're really well sculpted for muscle, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
They're really cool looking.
That's what I'm saying. For like stuff that little, they just had such good little features.
Yeah.
But
I found something interesting the other day, which is kind of on topic, but you guys are going to yawn. My kid was playing in the bathtub. I have a bunch of toys. I was throwing in some Muscle Men, the vintage ones, and the Motussles, the modern ones.
Yep.
The vintage ones sank to the bottom. The Motussles floated.
Ooh.
Isn't that a good piece of
You
knowledge?
heard it here first.
So if you're wondering if it's real or not,
There
it's
you
the
go.
float test, just like vintage Star Wars weapons.
The next thing, and actually I'm doing these out of order because I really want to do the best one last. The next one says, "The fight comes to Hordak's Lair with the Shira versus Hordak Reaction 2-pack. Be sure to come by Hordak's Lair during Comic-Con International, July 18th and 19th in San Diego to pick up these figures and more exclusive Masters of the Universe figures." What'd you think of these?
They're just reaction figures, right?
Yeah.
And a 2-pack.
Shira and Hordak.
I'm glad that they're... Okay,
I
this
love
is
Steve's
awesome.
answers.
This is awesome for the people who collect reaction and love them and everything, but I'm so glad I don't collect reaction.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to get these.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Are they
look
going to
cool.
come out with those individually?
I would think so.
They got to, right?
They
Probably.
probably will.
Maybe because like the way, like what they did with the singular
Yeah.
5.5
The
vintage
epic battle
Filmation
specs,
figures. Yeah, they put 2 together. He-Man and Skeletor.
Which people went crazy for because they didn't have enough pre-orders.
Pre-order or pre-sale?
Yeah, pre-order,
Yeah.
pre-sale.
So yeah, but yeah, they will most likely have.
And you're lucky
separate.
you're not a completist because that kind of stuff drives people nuts when there's not enough. And if I'm sure everyone
I
listening.
know, Steve. We talked about that. Like,
You already talked
Yeah.
about with Star Trek and the Toys That Made Us,
Yeah.
how they had that exclusive figure and completionist.
Oh,
ended
no,
up-
we didn't talk about that.
You
No.
are right though.
But
yeah.
if you can't get it and you've
If
had
you're
so
completist,
much,
you're
gonna go, I'm done, and
or you're
give
gonna
up.
fork up a lot of money to get that exclusive
Exactly,
from eBay or
Yeah.
some other
Yeah.
means.
All right. This last one is
It's my favorite, my personal favorite. Here's their post. Happy Motu Monday. Super 7 is feeling a little peculiar. What's going on? Laughing Prince Adam figure exclusively at the Hordax Lair pop-up event during San Diego Comic-Con. Features include new laughing head sculpt inspired by the viral video, new pink power sword, rainbow glitter packaging, and it says, wake up in the morning and step outside on July 18th and 19th and stop by Hordax Lair to pick up this elusive figure.
I love the context because that viral video of what's going on.
That's all some people know of Masters of the Universe.
Right.
The fact that, yeah. Now, here's the thing.
Maybe people don't know that's listening. Yeah, people would know that.
Oh,
If they're
they
listening
know.
to a He-Man podcast. They know.
The Four Non-Blondes song was turned into a goofy, silly thing with Prince Adam singing it in the video. And, possibly alluding to the fact that he may be gay.
Just come out and say it.
Say it. Maybe, or maybe he's just really happy, which is also gay. But regardless, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
I am so excited. And my knee-jerk reaction was, and I have not really gotten plugged in to find out, that some people were going to be, like, upset. Because, you know, some people get kind of protective over Masters Universe classics and be like, oh, they're making fun of it and blah, 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 this is all we need. I don't know if that's going on, but I'm the type of guy, I love Masters Universe, and I can still make fun of it.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like, you know, when you have, like, your best friend, like,
yeah,
you rip on him all day long, but you still love him, you know?
But I want that in my collection. I will pay whatever kind of
and the
what it takes to get up.
Yeah, and the rainbow packaging on it is just, like, really freaking cool, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conversation piece, like I mentioned earlier. You have a beautiful wall of vintage this and other things. And you stick that in there, and it's going to be shimmering. It's going to reflect the light. It's going to be like a rainbow emitting from your wall, and someone's going to go, what is that? Even if they don't care about toys, and it's a conversation piece. And the fact that we're talking about it right now, or other people dislike it, that's what they want. They want it to create like this little stir, or head scratching, because it sells. It's fun for us. It's fun. It's profitable for them.
And it's even something that casual fans don't even know about that, but they would know the video. They've seen the video and they look, oh, I know that. What's going on?
Right. Or if
That's
they're wondering what it is, then you go, oh, I got to show you this video.
Here's the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freaking amazing. Unfortunately, Super 7 already had to address some hate posts.
Yeah.
They put FYI, any and all homophobic comments posted on our page will be deleted. If you can't have fun and live and let live, please move along, and I would have to agree with that.
Yes, totally.
You got to have some fun with this stuff, and Mattel never would have done this.
No way.
So you have to give Super 7 a lot of credit for you know, having the gall to go out and actually do this. So I think it looks great. I want it. Somebody could pick it up for me, that'd be great.
Amen. I got 5 of them on my way. So
there you go. That's all the Super 7 news. We do have a little bit from Mattel, though. They are going to have a He-Man Belt of Power, which is basically a fanny pack with fur trunks underneath it and like the He-Man belt, which I think I have to have that. I would wear it
to cons.
all the time. Yeah, I'd wear it everywhere.
with or without pants?
Depends on how much it covers. But I'd be willing to go to the store and be like, oh, wait, let me get my change from zip right here, buddy.
Gosh.
They also did, I didn't write the notes, but I looked at them. They have 4 masks, He-Man masks. One's He-Man, one's Slime Pit He-Man, one is Faker with, I think, a little bit of damage on him. And then one is the Anti-Eternia He-Man. And they're like is it Ben? Ben Cooper?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it looks very similar to that.
Thin plastic just covers the front of your face.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All 4 of those are going to be $40, so that's $10 a piece. Pretty awesome price point, I think.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's fun.
And then there was one more, the Shira. Oh, they had the Shira headdress.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bag with Skeletor on it.
Yeah, like a tote bag.
Yeah, like a tote bag. So you can
Man
throw
purse.
all the things you just bought, like the masks and the headdress and whatnot, and throw them inside your little bag and put your money back in your He-Man fanny pack.
For me, Prince Adam, and the masks would be the two things I think I would pick up if I could get my hands on them.
Why the mask?
I don't know.
What draws you to him? Like
I just-
me, I'm like,
I think that'd be cool to
whatever.
just hang on your wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. They just seem kooky and kind of weird, and I think having them up displayed somewhere would look kind of weird.
Can we wear the mask next time I'm invited to a podcast? Am I going to be invited to do another podcast?
I can't tell you at this point.
Why can't you tell me?
Let's
I'm
see how
yawning because you're so boring.
I'm gonna hit this button. What's this end button do?
Beep. So, yeah, as far as news goes, that's all I have.
Awesome.
All right.
Which brings us on to listener questions.
All right, listener questions. I think we've got a lot.
We do. We have a pretty good amount, especially since I think I just put out the question yesterday for people to put comments and stuff. But I think they were jonesing to get some PO2 back in their life. So
PO2? Oh, yes. Never mind.
you get it.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is from Mark Johnston. Says, I'd love to get your thoughts on an idea I've had for years. With any new media such as comics / movie, etc., we go back to the original comics aesthetic. Adam is a kid whose dad is a barbarian warrior with a mysterious past. Dad played by Triple H in my mind. Adam grows up learning to fight, but his dad is trying to protect him from the evil he knows exists in Eternia. He knows Randor and the high-tech aspect of Eternia, but he has chosen to raise his family in a quiet, simple life. So Adam isn't related to Randor, but he later becomes He-Man and joins the struggle. The transformation isn't like the cartoon where it's a secret identity type thing, but pays homage to it by having it happen once in that fashion, but then he's just He-Man all of the time. So everyone knows Adam just happens to be his real name. Sort of like the Tony Stark and Iron Man, with a visual style like Thor, Beastmaster, John Carter, Conan. What do you think?
I think it's kind of cool. I don't hate it. I
don't-
think it's pretty.
But
I
do
think
you
it's a
love
different,
it?
interesting take. Huh?
I think
You
it's
love it?
unique.
Do I love it?
I don't think that I could get around Randor not being his father.
His father.
Yeah.
Why is that a hang up for this guy? He
I
doesn't
don't
want to be the father. It sounds like a dream that he just had this crazy dream. He's like, man.
Well, some people
like
like
that in
to
the movie.
some people like to shake things up just for the hell of it. And
Oh, absolutely.
maybe that's what it was, but
Well, doesn't he say in the beginning he was kind of getting back to kind of wanting to put that mini comic feel
yeah,
into it?
yeah. Right. So
You
where
know?
it actually would not have been his father and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a mash up of the ideas.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to go about it. I can tell you this: if that's what they did, I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either.
But I really, really do want to see a transformation.
Yeah.
Not only one at least 3 transformations.
Well,
right?
I mean, I just want that to be a part of it. I
Right.
just think that could be.
Unlike
We
the
didn't-
last movie.
Yeah, we didn't
Right.
get
Have
it
yeah.
in the the other
Dolph
one.
Lundgren.
Yeah, and just think that this many years passed, I think it should be in there.
Especially you mix it up too much, and then the diehard fans are gonna be like, "What? He's not the father?" You know, this is.
I think, and we've kind of brought up the movie thing a lot, is like if that movie comes out, no matter what's in it,
Yeah,
there's going to be somebody who's going to
there's-
hate it.
Yes.
A
yes.
whole horde, pardon the pun, of people who are going to hate it. So, but there's also going to be people that don't care or really, really love it.
But
So, I mean,
I would have to say, in my opinion, I think it's an educated guess that more. I think Justin's the minority. I think that most Masters of the Universe fans watched the cartoon, and that was a big part of it. I know
Right.
there's some people out there that hated it. But I think the biggest chunk, like if you were going to please the biggest section of fandom, I think going with the Filmation story aspects is your safest bet.
Yes.
probably, yeah.
But you're still gonna want to mix it up with shocking, like not the "I'm your father" moments, but still some "Oh my gosh, it's crazy," or to get us talking about it. Like, can you believe they did this? So they'd have to put some interesting twist in there. But yeah, a non-negotiable is transformation.
So what do you think about his dad being played by Triple H?
I think it's kind of cool.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
it's cool.
I think it's a cool idea, and I do like the visual Thor, Beastmaster, John Carter, Conan style. I think that's probably the way it's going to have to go if we're going to accept it. So, well, good. Thank you, sir. Martin Canteros Paz asks, what is your favorite Masters of the Universe or Masters of the Universe Classics figure weapon? Ooh.
You said Masters of the Universe or Masters of the
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
There you go. Now you got part of you in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
do.
neat.
I
Anthony,
always have.
Anthony, we.
There should be a funny joke about this.
Hey man, we're glad you can hear our voices again too. We did not want to take that extra week off, but you know, we had to. It was important. Gary Rickelman says, "What's the deal with Tytus?" It was a good show from the '90s.
You remember that?
Titus?
Chris Titus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sat in that big chair in the beginning. It was like black and white.
Good
wasn't
stuff.
it?
He was a great stand-up.
Well, we have a treat for you, Mr.
What?
Rickelman.
Get
said-
this water away. You're gonna
This
ruin it.
okay. Here's what we got.
Who's your shirt?
Wow, that art is very unique on there.
Yes.
That is
So it's ironic that Gary Rickelman, my favorite. I stalk Gary, by the way.
Before we continue,
Oh,
it
yes,
says,
yes.
I saw that he built Grayskull ? And was the '80s figure of him a foreign knockoff? Knockoff, no. Foreign, yes.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Here we go.
So
We're about to get schooled.
So we're gonna have to use your
Brock, will you correct him when he's wrong?
Absolutely.
which
Okay.
is probably gonna be every other thing I say. But I'm gonna try to describe it as best I can.
Can I touch it?
With me, no, you can't.
I
But
have
you
really greasy fingers.
you can touch Titus, but not the other thing you're pointing at.
Oh.
With me
The box?
is the original, yes, Titus. Now Titus wasn't released in the U.S., so collectors like me go, okay, I got everything in the U.S. What do I do now? And when I first started collecting, I kind of heard of this foreign figure, Tytus and Megator. They're called giants. I don't know how tall they are. Would you happen to know?
Like 13 inches, probably.
Yeah, 13 inches. They're huge, and you got Tytus that almost looks like a giant He-Man with a headband and armor and exposed skin, but you hadn't seen them unless you got the Classics Modern line. These were only distributed in Spain and Italy. Now the reason is, well, Mattel was still designing figures even up till the end, but the interest in the Motu line in the U.S. was kind of dwindling, so they projected the sales to be too low and realized, hey, we can't be selling these in the U.S., but we already designed many of these figures for pre-Eternia. Now predates the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe line that we all know, but as if you're listening to a He-Man podcast, you remember the dinosaurs, the Triceratops, the Pterodactyl, what's the last one?
Bionatops? Oh wait, that was
the T-Rex.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus.
T-Rex.
So you had the three.
Tyrantosaurus?
Yeah.
Tyrant.
The three dinosaurs that were supposed to be from pre-Eternia, and they were going to have this whole new storyline of the main characters, such as Hero. He was kind of going to be like the He-Man, and then you had these giants, Tytus, and then the bad guy Megator, who looks like this giant green goblin. In Eldor, it was kind of like the Obi-Wan, if you will. It had this scroll, this book of knowledge. I don't remember the book's name, but so they were producing these figures, ready to launch it, and went up. The line's dwindling. It's not going to survive. But the line was still very popular in Spain and Italy. People were buying them up, and they go, hey, we produce these figures. We still have a market over there, so they specifically sold them only in Italy and Spain. Now they are highly sought after by collectors. The weapon that Steven's putting in his hand, I don't even know how to describe this. Steven, you're a wordsmith. What would you describe this weapon as?
Looks like a hairdryer
Yes.
from the '80s on a stick.
Yep.
And it is designed to pick up a figure. I don't know if that will work.
I wouldn't do it.
Nope.
Because those prongs will snap
Break.
off.
incredibly fragile. Took me about a year of constant searching to find one in decent condition that was complete, and I had to get the box for it. The box has some wonderful box art where it shows this hairdryer, goldish vehicle or weapon grabbing King Hiss. And if you remember, King Hiss was from Pre-Eternia. He was the main bad guy, but then was what, frozen or time warp? I don't remember what happened.
He was in the void.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. But he's grabbing onto King Hiss with this weird weapon. In the back of it, can I read it? Do we have time? Actually, no.
Jeff?
Let's have Brock read. No. Okay. Jeremy. No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. You have to
All right,
read.
so on the back of the box, there's lots of different languages that say this little blurb. It says, Tytus, heroic giant warlord, travel back in time and discover the origin of the powers of Grayskull. Learn how He-Man became so strong, and explore the magical world of Preternia, home of fierce dinosaurs and giants. Tytus, the giant, fights for peace, while the evil giant Megator is by far the biggest bully in the universe.
All right.
And I know you'll probably not want to invite me ever again how this podcast went down, but I think I'll be able to coax you into letting me come if I bring Megator, the
Next
bad
time?
one, next time. So, you'll have to a trade-off. You
So-
have to deal with my shenanigans, but you get to see Megator.
Now,
Take a snap of the back of this box here.
I know that there is a thing about him building Grayskull. Did that come from the Classics files?
That's from the Classics bios.
Okay. So that's where you're seeing that, Gary.
In this box here, he has the bilingual box. There's actually another box variant that has the English one on logo on there,
Okay.
and those were the first box ones because they were supposed to be for us here in the States.
Yep.
And they decided not to release them, and like Justice said, they moved them all overseas.
So you got the crappy box, Justin?
No, they're the same.
Correct.
I don't
Both
know.
of
I
them
bet
are-
you that other one's probably a little
Well,
more rare.
the English one has the Powers of Grayskull logo on it, like dinosaurs.
Okay, right, okay.
Because
Okay.
it's supposed to go with the dinosaurs, and the same with Megator.
The official name for the weapon is the Body Snatcher.
And if you
Is
feel
the
it,
figure itself fragile?
incredibly. Let me tell you a little side
The
story.
loincloth.
Let me tell you a freaking horrible side story. Now, you want to see a grown man cry, it's when you spend forever looking for it, you finally find one on eBay, you negotiate for a month with this guy back and forth, you spend the most money you've ever spent for a toy, you get it in the mail November in Michigan while it's been waiting outside and a cold, blistery day.
Oh, man.
You open up the package. It is expertly wrapped, tons of layers of bubble wrap. The box is perfect. The weapon's perfect. You're unraveling it. Your heart is palpitating. You feel like, oh my goodness, now I am complete. I don't have to collect anymore. And you open them up and you see that his waist, his crotch area is shattered into a million pieces. Literally, the cold from the outside, the very thin plastic for his waist, just instantaneous, shattered it. Then I had to explain that to the seller, who thought I was trying to scam him, but he had some distinct marks on his back, which I took pictures of, but he's like, well, I want to see the front of it too, and the back at the same time. So I had to hold it in the mirror, take a picture. It was like this, so he could see the front and the back in the mirror at the same time, so he knew I wasn't trying to scam him. Then we had to negotiate a refund because the weapons, the accessories, because it comes with a headband, chest armor, box, and then
So then you
this
got a
body
sizable
snatcher.
refund.
Not as big as you would think. The accessories are worth more than the darn figure. So I got a decent refund, but really minute. But I was
Because the
able.
first thing he did is call me and be like, "Hey, you want to buy?"
I
this?
probably
You
did.
wanna
Did
buy
I?
this piece?"
Did I really?
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
He's like, "Hey, I got this. It's Tytus. It's the rare broken loincloth version."
And I did sell it to one of my friends.
I was gonna say, did you keep it?
Oh no, I sold it to my friend. I sold it to him maybe exactly the amount that I got from the refund. I didn't make a dime on it.
Right.
It sucked, but I'm like, listen, if you want to spend what, $1,500 or you want to spend $200 kind of deal, and then you at least have it. So he bought it. He had it for a year or two. He resold it for the same price, and I tried bluing it too, but it has some arm motion. So you lift up his right arm.
And his head turns.
And his head turns. It's like a
with his
possessed.
rooted hair, by the way.
He literally has rooted hair. Isn't that cool? I have on my YouTube video where I interview a ex-employee that told me a little side story on the YouTube channel about the rooted hair and how he went down to the
This
Barbie.
rooted hair only came from virgins and
Yes, kind of. From Steven's Locks of Love. No, but that's horrible. Why am I talking? I gotta stop talking. I'm done talking. Go ahead. Take over, Steven. I can see it in your eyes. You're like, shut up, Justice.
You know, this figure didn't intrigue me whatsoever on any level until he's actually in front of you. And then you're like,
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. The worst thing is when you finally find him and Megator, but someone cut their hair.
Oh,
That's common.
right?
Yeah, it
Very
is.
common.
Very common. Because they'll get stuff caught in their hair, gum, candy, and they
Right.
cut it out.
See, this
It's
hair
so
is actually-
heartbreaking because it's complete, and I can't buy one with cut hair.
No, you can't.
do you have one?
No, I was
He's
looking
hunting
for
for it.
I'm hunting for both of them right now, but last year I ran across both of them, and Megator and Tytus both with cut hair. And I'm like, I can't do it.
But you're looking at price points between $800 to $2,000 for these guys, and it's a hefty sum. And plus, if you don't have sentimental value and you're just running on that completism, which not all of us, like Jeremy goes, I'm not a completist. I just buy what I love. Well, unfortunately, I have the completism gene or disease.
Well, see,
so I had
even
to
if
have
I
it.
did, though, I could draw the line and say, well, yeah, that was just released overseas. So
Exactly. You can rationalize,
Right.
rationalize in your mind why you
Just
don't
how
need it.
the same way you rationalize swivel arm versus straight arm GI Joes,
Yeah. And what
which I don't think counts. I really don't think it counts as a
Well,
complete
people
run.
people don't know what you're talking about right now. You have to fill in the backstory. You haven't talked in like 5 minutes, so I need you to talk. Okay, I miss your voice. Go ahead. And
Well,
go. And
We're not going to talk about GI
to-
Joes on the.
We're up to
He-Man
number
podcast.
9 right now. I can see it. His face is getting a little red. If you want to see how red his face is, type in Justice Curry in YouTube, and you can watch part of this podcast on video, so you can.
Probably can't because he's not going to have it up for 2 years.
But seriously, if you want to see the whole interactions of the frustration in Steven's face, like literally, he's been mad this entire time, butthurt, but it's all right. It makes for good entertainment.
That is a pretty cool figure, though.
I didn't know about the arm and head moving thing. That's pretty cool.
That's his action feature, and Megator's is the kick.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He can
okay.
kick.
Well, so is the intention supposed to be to move his head and then the arm moves, or is it?
I think the arm.
So you put
Yeah,
this weapon in his arm, lift it up. I mean, they just had
So
to
it
have
would
some
like
play
go
action.
down onto the character or whatever.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 'cause
Much how you would spring back the other ones and they punch.
Right.
Okay.
Two of my, I don't remember if it was Tom Ace or Joe Amato or, one of their multiple personalities. But one of those guys reached out to me when I first got it and said, "Hey, Justice, freaking get some fishing line and secure it to wherever you have." And I don't know if it was one of them told me a personal story or they told me a story of one of the collectors that it literally fell.
took a shelf dive.
It took a shelf dive because they're very unstable. They are not. They're unstable.
Yeah,
like rockabye
in like
baby.
a doll stand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a base.
Yeah.
I have no idea what a doll stand is, and I don't know how you would know what a doll stand is. But that's all right.
Because I collect quarter scale NECAs.
Yeah.
Right?
Good call. True. But with the weapon, his crotch being so fragile, the weapon probably being one of the most fragile and expensive pieces, so that just instantaneous. Even bringing it, across the border when I was en route here, it was. I looked at it and contemplated, like, should I really do this? All right, Steven will comp me if you broke on the way. And
No.
no.
He'll give you some pizza.
He'll give me some pizza. That's right.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
cool,
really
huh?
cool figure.
That was kind of like a rare figure review almost.
Yeah.
Like it.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Neat, man.
I guess Justin does bring something to the table once in a while.
Once in a great while.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Gary.
Yes.
Got some good conversation out of us there.
For sure.
Queen Ketzali from Heman.org, the only one who ever messages us from there. Says, I think New Adventures is very enjoyable for what it is. Remember we were talking about New Adventures last episode.
Yeah.
It said, yeah, Skeletor having eyeballs is weird, but Campbell Lane's, I don't know how you would say that, portrayal of him is just insanely entertaining. I can't get enough of his over-the-top delivery. For a bad guy, he's cool. For Skeletor, probably not.
I agree.
But
I've heard a lot of people say though that they really like his portrayal or his voice or
It's
whatever. But
it's you just can't help but compare it to the original.
Yeah.
Really. So, we're getting
we're getting a selfie.
We can still talk. You can
Oh my
take
God.
selfies and talk the entire time.
I can't because I have to look at the microphone.
Why do you have to look at the microphone?
Because-
Steven, look at the
Picture.
camera.
Hey, don't
please.
let go.
Steven, look at the camera. Hey, Steven, I need at least 45 pictures.
Oh my God, I'm
One,
done.
2,
Okay,
3.
so what?
Go ahead.
All right. No, you gonna say
New
something?
Adventure Skeletor.
No, I was saying I was done with his.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Andrew,
Brian.
8.5.
Oh, Brian, I don't know how to say your last name, buddy.
Overneck.
Boehme. So I'm just gonna go Brian Boehme.
Boom. Bam.
Boom. Brian Davis. Brian Bohm. Okay. Please correct me. I love Masters wacky vehicle designs. What are your favorites? And if you could design a new vehicle or beast, what might it look like? Love the show. Thank you, sir. Wacky vehicle designs.
All of them.
Got one.
Yeah.
First, I want to say my favorite wacky vehicle design. My favorite vehicle is the Battle Ram. But the second, the wackiest and the coolest and the most ridiculous vehicle is got to be, and I don't know how it can't be the same for everybody, it's the Dragon Walker.
Yeah, it's...
The Dragon Walker is so ridiculous, but I love it.
They were just like, we have this action feature, how can we make it into something?
Yeah, and if you really watch how it works, the way they engineered that thing to work, how the weight tips and lifts the back
Kinda
foot
neat.
off so it can swing around and everything, it's amazing. I love it, love that thing. And a wacky vehicle that I always thought would be kind of neat would be for the Snake Men.
Oh.
And it would have been a snake, and I'm sure Motu masters the way that they engineer stuff. They can engineer the Spider to walk and the Dragon Walker to do its thing. They can make that thing slither and move.
That'd be cool.
That
Well,
would be
like you could put a couple drivers in the head or something.
I like that.
Guns on his back.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, I always thought that we had like enough vehicles. I never really had any like cool ideas. Maybe something like some sort of like gyroscope type ball or something they could roll around in. That would be kind of neat.
Well, they were talking about that. That was in the pre-production phases for Twistoid and Rotar. There was going to be
The gyro.
Yeah.
Like a hamster ball?
Yes and no. It was mainly they sat on the top, and then there's to be some mechanism that would shoot them out the front, and it would spin. It would automatically start spinning it while it's in the
gyro
vehicle.
attacker or something.
Yeah, something like that. So you said gyro, and you should have.
See?
Oh my gosh.
Too young.
This is
The
too
actual
weird.
the prototype was made and the box was made.
Yep.
It never came out.
And Brock and I saw a picture of the actual prototype. We know who has it in their collection, and he's like, "Don't share this with anybody."
Fair enough.
I want to say, these are the guys. They know all this stuff. Brock, you can come on the show anytime you want, as long as you don't bring Justin.
Perfect.
What? What? This is. I've never been so insulted in my entire life. You know what? I thought I was having a good time, but you know what?
You're having a blast.
I'm gonna delete this episode, by the way.
No, you're not.
I see the delete button right there.
As far as wacky vehicle designs, my favorite vehicle is the Land Shark, and I just
Hey,
there was just
high
something about-
high five,
There's
because that's what mine
There's just
is.
something about sharks. I don't know. It's really cool, and the chewy mouth and stuff like that. But I'd say as a kid, the one I used the most and the one that I had the most fun with was probably the Bashosaurus. Because that thing, for what it was, you push down that little orange button, you could really hurt people with that.
When my kids were little, I used to discipline them with it.
Yeah.
Like, put your hand on the table, smash.
You too?
This is what you deserve. I don't want to do this.
It's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me. I said that backwards, but it's true.
You know what I meant. You get it again now.
What's your favorite?
You took mine.
Did I?
I bashed right when you read that question. I was like, Bastrosaurus.
Yeah. It's just something about that thing. It's just really cool. And it was sturdy too. The headpiece popped off it, but
Yeah, it's good. It's a good toy. Didn't have it as a child. I have it now. You know, it really is fun.
it always has that dirty stigma of the fact that it was my brother's when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Older brother?
Younger.
Oh, okay.
So it was like it was stinky. But it's still cool. I still have one now, and it's fun. So. J.D. Gibson says, there's a segment in your podcast where you review vintage figures. Will you be reviewing the Classics Line 2 at some point? I would not put it past us.
I would say that at the rate we're going to be done with the vintage line very quickly. And so, unless Jeremy wants to do new adventures, which I'm not really inclined to do.
I think that we could probably do it at some point. Maybe just do like a whole section where maybe we review all of them at once or something, or something like that.
New Adventures? I love the Skeletor for that line.
They had rooted hair too.
That one.
Skeletor had hair.
Yeah.
I would love to review the classic someday.
Yeah, I don't see that as being an issue. We just have sort of a loose idea of what we're going to do for the future. We don't really have anything laid out in plans. We kind of trying to do it in order, but we're not opposed to doing other things too. So I don't know. Let us know what you think. Jim Bagtaz, this is our last one. Oh, almost our last one. How do you guys feel about the Super 7 Reaction Masters 3 3/4 figures? Well, we already talked about it. So, some of us like them, some of us don't. But they're all pretty cool to have because, you know, anything Masters is great. Travis Bowles says, Okay, you want to hit the button? Do you?
What's the button? What's it going to do?
Okay, this is our drop for random ideas. Random, heavy on the dumb. We're going to change the segment a little bit this year, or this week, and we're going to call this Random Questions. Now,
normally we come up with something on our own.
Something
unique.
something silly. But then Travis here. Now, Travis is a co-host on the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me podcast with me and Pete. I know him well, so, you know, I'm going to give him a little bit of hell here. But I don't want that to scare anybody off. If you want to ask us a question, we will never treat you like I'm about to treat Travis.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have random ideas, you know, we did some.
There are no random ideas unless you're Travis Bowles.
Exactly. We've done things like what Masters would be great at Olympics, and if Saved by the Bell characters were Masters characters, who would they be, and stuff, just random ideas. And this is what Travis sent us today. And he said, just watch Glow.
Good show.
Yeah.
I have not
on
seen
Netflix. Watched it all.
It's about girls,
female wrestlers,
glamorous,
wrestlers,
gorgeous ladies of wrestling or something.
Yeah, okay. He says, so good.
It is a good show.
Okay. Cast a wrestling show using Masters of the Universe crew. What would be their gimmicks?
Okay, this is the most ridiculous thing. I'll go out on a limb here and say Buzz-Off's gimmick will be that he can fly.
What's Fisto's gimmick?
Oh, he punches things.
What's Randor's gimmick?
He's a king.
What's Spikeor's gimmick?
He's got spikes.
Wait, I got one. Cyclone's gimmick.
Oh.
He spins.
Oh, nice. He's got an answer for all of them. Brock, try to stump him. What's Montana's gimmick?
His eyes pop out.
Clamp champs.
He grabs things with his clamp. That's the dumbest question.
Oh, I got one. It's
Never
gonna
got
stump
one.
you. Sorry, Steven. I gotta end your reign. What's Man at Arms gimmick?
He always comes up with a machine that takes out his foe. And he gives fatherly advice.
He has a green
until he
bodysuit.
bores his victim to death.
Like you.
Hey.
I'm sorry. You teased me.
So yeah, that was our random questions for the week.
You had some awesome answers, but I need to still think. What's Ram Man's gimmick?
He rams things.
Through the springety legs.
Why is this so funny? It's funny.
Although I would like to see we've actually talked about, we had a random idea where they were wrestling.
What's Beast Man's gimmick? Yes.
He's orange.
He's orange. I need some. Yes, please.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, Travis, I was actually starting to put some thought into this, and then I realized that they kind of already have their own gimmicks. So I said to Steve, what do you think we should do here? And he goes, oh, I got this. So we purposefully skipped our own idea for random ideas today. So, yeah. And we definitely love you so very much, Travis. That brings us on to our figure review.
Oh, wow. All right, figure review coming up. Jeremy, what is our figures this week?
They're vehicles, and we actually kind of talked a little bit about one of them. But the first one is the Dragon Walker.
The Dragon Walker, what can I say? Has anybody got anything to add about the awesomeness that I discussed earlier?
You know, looking at it, though, I mean, it is just so amazing looking.
The scales, the red eyes.
Guys, I'm going to have to disagree big time with you. I had that as a child, and I thought it was the most ridiculous. Because, first of all, what parent would constantly buy you batteries? So its function ran out immediately when you left it on. And, you know, if they're not buying you batteries every month, it's just what type of play action does it have between that top heavy part falling off? You can't move it around, you can't roll it. So I think it's probably one of the worst vehicles ever created.
You can just use it as an angry beast afterwards.
No,
I never looked at it like that, Justin.
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining it for me.
Yeah, now we all hate it. I think it's pretty sweet. I love the little H8, the Heman logo on the side. It's like a little sheet.
That's awesome.
The triple, the 3 legs on the front and on the back, so 6 legs total. I don't know. He looks really cool. He's like a cross between a castle and a dragon. Just because his scales, he just looks so castle-y. Yes. Like he would just hang out in Castle Grayskull.
I like the sculpting detail.
Absolutely. That face. I mean,
But if they turned him into some like horse or something, that would have been way more amazing. They didn't need that play action.
That seat actually looks very familiar to the. It looks kind of. I don't know. Like it was used somewhere else. Maybe not.
I don't know.
But
what's up with the crest? I would like to know who designed that, and
it's pretty much my favorite. My favorite He-Man logo there. That H, and I just realized like in recent years that's an H and an M
combined.
Yeah. I was just like, oh no,
out,
just the middle part of the H is a little farther down, and somebody went, that's because it's an M. Dumbass.
You've had a conversation about this before?
Of course, I'm on a podcast that talks about He-Man. So we had not only the Dragon Walker, but we had to go on to the bad side too. And it is, I hear the clinking of ice cubes.
Thank you.
The Roton. Right here. I'm showing a picture to everyone as if they don't know what it looks like already. But there's the Roton. It reminds me of a G.I. Joe vehicle.
Really?
Kind of. You know, the
Well,
one
the
that like,
buzzbore that had it's just sideways.
Yeah, it's just sideways. It's red and black motif, 2 very dark, evil colors together, like blood and death.
It has eyes, so is it a living beast?
That's what I wonder, man.
Well,
like,
a lot of He-Man vehicles have eyes and faces, and just about.
Almost every single one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Road Ripper, Battle Ram.
That's true.
Laser Bolt.
do you think it's because they were like?
Fright Fighter.
Do you think they could
Why is
actually
that?
see?
okay.
They have a
The Wind Raider?
conscience?
Does not. Oh
No,
well, it has the like on the retractable from the thing has that like.
Oh, it does
eagle
have.
head-
Yeah, I
eagle
guess
head or
that is
something
kind
on
of like a. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So did it have individual thought? Did it have free
yeah,
will?
you gotta wonder, like, was it a robot, or did they just paint it that way so that way it looked kick-ass as it was driving at
Eternians are
you?
just in tune with nature. So they make their vehicles incorporate with
Biometric.
the attack track.
Terminators.
Does that?
Ooh, I don't know. Doesn't it have like a...
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, pretty cool. It looks like there's supposed to be like fangs on the front, but they never painted them in. Really angry looking. Yeah, if you really like study, we've learned so much just by because you own it for years and you never really just sit there and study every little aspect of it. But
it's like looking at your hand and going, "Oh my
right,
gosh,
oh my
hand
God,
is
it's
amazing."
70,000 reels. Apparently, you need drugs for these kids.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool. Some couple guns, and it only seats one figure, but that's okay. That's all you need.
Unless you sit
And
on...
according to the pictures, it can fly
Oh, true. Right.
and destroy. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty versatile, cheap, entry-level vehicle that.
Oh, it is.
You
You
know.
can find it real cheap, yeah.
And the just that spinning action itself is like
The classics
cool.
figure, didn't it come with that guy with the long...
Yeah, the Skeleton.
Who is that? I don't
from
know the
Mini-Comic.
lore.
Mini comic, right?
Yeah.
What was he?
So
One of, I think just
it was like a henchman.
yeah, Skeletor henchman. Well, there's an army of them.
There was?
let's see.
Yeah, which kind of
I
tick
don't
people
remember
off
that.
because
Yeah, you couldn't buy them.
you can't army build.
If you
them.
look at that picture, it actually has like the
Yeah,
fangs
this is the
colored
one
in
I
and
was telling
whatnot.
you
Yeah,
about.
that's cool. Yeah.
Okay. He was in the old mini comics? I don't remember him.
Really cool. That's actually I just love that design, the round vehicles. I don't know, kind of neat, spinny stuff, and I never had it as a kid, so
Me neither.
I really
Oh,
wanted
really?
it though.
No. I don't remember.
So that's it for our figure review. We're getting close to finishing. That was from Wave 3 from 1984. I think we have 2 more things to review, and then we will be on to Wave 4.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're getting close to the end of that. So that brings us on to our mini comic review. I'm gonna need to pull that up.
Yep. Sorry. Who am I? Am I talking?
Oh yeah, you're talking.
You always want
You're
me
gonna have
do...
to act. Listen,
That's
Justin,
easy.
You want to be in shit. You want to be on YouTube. You want the spotlight.
I just
and
broke
this.
this.
This is awesome.
Steven!
You guys got to hear it here first.
You're getting my Hulk. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm so
I
upset.
fixed it. You're upset
I
because I
wanted it to
didn't
be
break.
broken. I really did. Inside, I wanted it to be broken.
Your father's a horrible human being. You know that.
His little arm on his
GoPro.
GoPro that he has had filming this whole thing with.
By the way, you can watch that video on Justice Curry at YouTube. Just type in JUSTICE space Curry CURY in YouTube and hit the subscribe button to watch more of my exciting adventures. Plus, for real, you can watch Steven's toy room tour, which is amazing. And Jeremy's still gonna invite me over to do.
I will
one
once
at
my
his
stuff
house.
is set up. Oh my god, I'm really trying.
Your GoPro's gonna fall. It's moving.
Oh, it is.
All right. Okay, all right. I shouldn't have said anything.
Was this live?
No. So this week we're using the is this Dark Horse? I'm so sorry. Dark Horse He-Man and the Masters of the Universe mini comic collection. We are on page 353, or you can just bust out your little mini comic of the double-edged sword, and it's going to be a lot of fun. On the cover we have He-Man looking rather, I don't know, kind of old. Swinging
Your
his
dad.
sword.
Really?
Yeah, he looks, I don't know, he looks
Oh
a little,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
looks a little old.
A little strange.
Yeah. He's swinging a sword at like the big
And a child.
yeah, there's like a child being wrapped up in these vines, spiky vines. There's Castle Grayskull in the background. So apparently everything happens in front of Castle Grayskull. This creature looks like a big like piranha plant with many eyes.
A Venus flytrap.
Yeah, like a piranha plant. Years of Super Mario Brothers, my friend.
Yes.
It looks like it's drooling, or it's a little bit orangey reddish, so maybe it's blood. Regardless, this thing is going to eat this child, and He-Man does not want that to happen.
Nope.
So, shall we get into it?
Yeah, we should. I think Justin is got to be the little boy.
What?
Yeah,
wanna be
okay.
It
He-Man.
fits.
Can I be
we
He-Man?
have our He-Man.
Who's He-Man?
Steven, of course.
Oh, jeez. He always has to be the hero.
Well, he's a phenomenal hero.
He is.
So we do
my
this
hero.
little boy, and we have I would say maybe his. Oh, it does say grandfather. So who's gonna be the grandfather?
Let me see what.
I'll be the grandfather.
And has Brock decided not to join us?
I'm gonna listen.
You're gonna listen? Okay. He's gonna watch us be fools.
Hi, Daddy. We love you.
What are you doing?
I didn't mean to hit this button.
What?
My wife sent me a voicemail. I didn't mean it to play.
I was like, wow, you changed your voice really well. So yeah,
I don't know where you.
this is.
I
Oh
see
my
Steven's level. I think I'm to a 9. I am so freaking close.
It's like
to getting to
9.3.
9.3.
Gosh. All right, so
Okay, so I want Justin to be the little boy, and I want you to be Battle Cat.
What now? I'm Battle Cat?
You're Battle Cat or Cringer.
yeah.
I don't know if Cringer talks, but I see Battle Cat at least has one line.
Yep. So you get to be the little boy, and who's going to be the grandfather?
Whoever want, I can do it. Well, you do it, Jeremy.
Okay.
Tell me when.
All right. So we're going to start out. Here we go. Prince Adam and Cringer explore the wilds of the vine jungle when, out of the thickest foliage, man-eating plants attack and begin to crush them with their tendrils. Double living plant blood.
Wow.
That's brutal.
Yeah. That was wonderful.
What was your favorite part from the whole story?
The boy.
The
little
boy.
The little boy.
That boy needs to make every single comic, I think.
I like it.
I mean, especially if he's a palace guard now. Obviously,
Heck yeah.
King Randor's giving it to him, so...
You know what? He might grow up to be Jitsu and turn evil. Because he's Asian. Jitsu's...
Oh, you think there can only be one?
Well, there's
I see
only
how you
one in the
think.
story. Is there any other Asian?
Ninja's nothing, I guess.
We never see his head's covered. He could be...
They're pretty much the same guy. No.
Oh, he could be a combination.
Oh boy, that was fun.
I think these creatures are pretty cool. I would like to see them in other things.
Those
but
plant creatures?
Yes.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Especially when he runs, like you said, through
Yeah.
5 of them at the same time with his sword. Not slicing, it's just running through with his sword
Right.
in the same position. Zip, 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 zip.
And
Good job.
That's cool how we kind of, he's jumping like Ram Man, and sure enough, he's like, whoa, Rammy, get over here.
Yeah.
I just did your thing, now you do your thing, and we'll do our thing, and...
How about we just do a whole episode of comics? 'Cause that was the funnest thing I've ever done in my entire life. That's it.
That's awesome.
Good job, everybody. Good job to my daughter Claire. She was
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a young Tila.
I like that. It's good.
Wonderful
job.
Awesome.
So,
All right.
so
Well,
good.
I gotta, I suppose, even though I might not feel this way, I still have to thank you for coming because that's the
Yay.
proper thing to do.
It's only
I
polite.
want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank Brock for coming.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Justin.
Oh, of course. I am upset, if it's still recording, that I wasn't able to get you to a number 10. I was very close. Hopefully, if you ever invite me to be a podcaster special guest, I will plan ahead. I will think of some hot button issues and just send you sky high to 10 and make you like throw things and punch me. That's
Well,
what I'm
unfortunately, you've got one more episode in you because you got to bring Megator.
Ah, yes. I got some time to plan. I'm excited. Made my night.
In a couple of years, we'll give you the,
The
we'll
opportunity.
see if you can come back.
Yeah, true.
No, thanks, guys. It was fun. We had a ball.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, you guys had a ball. It was good to get back after a longer break than normal. For me and Jeremy. Jeremy, got anything you want to say? Parting words?
I love you all, and please come back.
All right. So that's it for this week, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And until then, we will see you around the universe.
Woo! Awesome, guys. Go team! It was fun.
And the voice acting takes a little out of you, don't it?
You both are like pros, man. That was good.
We never meant to do it either.
Really? That's the best part.
It just started
Everyone
happening.
loves that part.
I don't think I made. When I listened to your podcast, I got 45 minutes in, and I never got to this part. This part is my favorite.
I think we've done it for 23 episodes. We've done a mini comic for maybe all but 1 or 2 episodes, and it just naturally started to happen. Before it started more off as like a storybook. First, mini comics were more like that. And as we started going on, we just started kind of like,
that's what he would have said.
And then all of a sudden we're like, just started doing it. Like we didn't talk about it, we just did it.
Right.
We don't want to stop.
Nor should you.
Plus, Steve's He-Man is probably the best thing that's ever happened.
I thought you were Claire.
I stared at her face like this.
What is this, 23?
23, yeah.
That was impressive.
That was weird. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, from all of you at Justice Curry Studios, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the toy aisle. I'm skipping.
I'll see you in the toy aisle.
Because you always say that.
And my wife's
gonna kill me, so I wanted to
You say
be
I'll see
funny.
you around the universe next.
Yeah, I'll see you around the universe. Goodbye.